Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is September the 8th, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Let's see, it's Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Woo. Hopefully, you're feeling the same energy as myself. I will say today was better because I was less anxious, and that's always nice. I know I didn't talk about it too much yesterday, but that was I was just a ball of nerves. It even followed me to bedtime. I was just chilling on the just half of my bed, just wanting to pull my hair out for no reason. I was just upset, and sometimes you just get like that. I did the thing where I talked to some homies, kind of did the mental work, and trying to unravel, and some good sleep really helped as well. So we woke up with a better attitude. Overall, today was good, and not to mention, no questions, no awkwardness. No one coming up to me sniffing around. It was nice. I was kept to my own devices. Also, it seems like we are getting more prepared for it to be busy, and I think that's good. Sometimes I think we sit on our hands a little too much, sit on our laurels, if you will, at my job. So, getting ready for the peak is really important instead of just being like, oh, it's peak now, get ready. All right, enough work talk. Let's see. Sadly, there's no good food talk. I really haven't eaten anything super yummy or wild this week. It's been pretty ho-hum, regular. All right, so I'm going to take my normal little startup, and then we will get into some news. How about that? Nice and easy, I hope. All right, all right. From BBC News, Florida man arrested after trying to. Oh wait. Oh, I'm on the last story. My bad. I'll save that. That's a little teaser. We're talking about a Florida man. Let me get back in order. My bad. Da, 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 da. From the Associated Press, an ailing American explorer trapped 3,000 feet deep in Turkish cave awaits difficult rescue. Rescuers from across Europe rushed to a cave in Turkey on Thursday, launching an operation to save an American researcher who had become trapped almost 1,000 meters or 3,000 feet below the cave's entrance after suffering stomach bleeding. Experienced caver Mark Dickey, 40 years old, suddenly became ill during an expedition with a handful of others, including three other Americans, in the Morka Cave in southern Turkey, Taurus Mountains, the European Association of Cave Rescuers said. While rescuers, including a Hungarian doctor, have reached and treated Dickey, it could be days and possibly weeks before they are able to get him out of the cave, which is too narrow in places for a stretcher to pass through. So, yeah, I initially had heard the story. Excuse me. This man, he was trapped, and they were looking to get him out, but the problem was they were having trouble actually getting to him because the caves are so narrow and he can't physically move on his own. But I guess the update as of today is he's at least fine. He's been able to eat again. He's not puking up blood anymore, things like that. They've worked out a system to at least relay communications. So all these things are set up, and that's good. But he's not able. They're not certain that he's able to move on his own yet, and they can't fit a stretcher in these narrow caves. So essentially they're kind of waiting, letting him recover, hopefully get better, and they're also maybe trying to even make a wider opening so that they can get the stretcher down to him. But they're being very careful about that because they don't want to cause any kind of environmental damage or anything that would disturb the cave, make things potentially worse. You know what I mean? But it does seem like people are in high spirits. There is his team, I believe, in New Jersey that is talking, giving updates, doing communications and stuff like that. But yeah, very interesting situation that unfolding or is unfolding in Turkey. I was happy to see that, he is on the better side of things, at least in the cave. Hopefully they can get him out soon. All right. We have another manhunt, another person on the loose, but across the pond this time. NBC News. Terror suspect and ex-soldier escapes from London jail, sparking huge manhunt. A massive manhunt was taking place across Britain on Thursday for a former soldier facing terrorism charges who staged a rare escape from a prison in London by strapping himself to the bottom of a food delivery van. Daniel Abed Khalife, 21 years old, was awaiting trial on accusations that he planted fake bombs at a military base and violated the country's Official Secrets Act. The former British Army soldier escaped from Wandsworth Prison in South London before 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Police appealed to the public for help and launched an urgent nationwide hunt. Checks have been stepped up at airports amid fears he may try to flee the country, and passengers face delays at Heathrow Airport as well as the port of Dover. It's believed that Khalife has links to Kingston areas in southwest London, and police have said he most likely remains in the city. So, they're worried that he might, do the old shake and bake and try to leave the country, or, just go where they don't expect him. So they're worried about that, but they're really expecting him to just kind of go to his stomping grounds, I suppose. And they're really kind of banking on that. But essentially, he was doing like a kitchen detail, and he was dressed in like kitchen uniform, and it looks like he had like clung to the bottom of a food truck that was doing a delivery and was able to ride out, and then maybe like fell out a short distance kind of out, like, outside of the prison area. But yeah, they said it was like pretty daring, just because like it would be hard enough to like get yourself situated like that, then not to mention to be holding on to it. But I guess I kind of learned that he was able to like set up a strap kind of situation. But even then, that would still be pretty hardcore to do. But they're not sure exactly where he fell out. They're just assuming he fell out maybe closer to the prison, just outside of the area. But yeah, I did not expect to see two manhunts in two different countries in the same week. I wonder how often that happens. Probably more than I'm expecting, but let's see. Police described him as 6 feet 2 inches tall and of slim build. He was wearing a white t-shirt, red and white checkered trousers that are typically worn by kitchen staff, and brown steel-toe cap boots. So yeah, I mean, essentially though, in terms of his like terrorist activities, he had like these 3 canisters that he had set up to look like they were explosives, like wires and all this kind of shit. And they were found, handled, realized, okay, these aren't what they are. But then they, apprehended him, and, he was going through the process. He's in jail now, and he's like, you know what, fuck this. And literally did like a fucking Prison Break style, like, movie shit, man. Moving along, though, I did want to kind of do an update on the Daniello Cavalcante situation. He's still at large, which honestly to me I was surprised. I kind of figured they would get him before like Friday, but here we are. This is 9th day on the run. That's crazy. Just one thing I did want to know, well, a couple things. Prison fires guard who was on duty when Cavalcante escaped. Also, I'm pulling some of this from the Philadelphia Inquirer. But I think the biggest part of the story that I've heard so far that kind of shook my ass, I believe I was listening to Start Here, but and it might have been the BBC too, but a family in like the general area from where he escaped, I believe it was Longwood Gardens, but they had heard like a noise, and they had came to the the top of their stairs or whatever, and I guess you could turn off the light from there, like how you kind of have like a master switch or what have you. And they saw the light was on, and they heard a noise, and like, that's weird, that's eerie. So they turned the light off, and then the light comes back on. And then I think they said they turned it off like 3 times, like it was almost like a code. And then someone turned it on and off 3 times. And they said, oh shit. And I think they realized it was him, or like there was just definitely someone down there. They didn't want to fuck with them. And they heard him, kind of collect some things and leave. And that to me was like, Whoa, shit. That's, once again, out of a fucking movie. Also, kind of going back to the article, it looks like they've placed his family in protective custody. Also, just kind of a reminder, too, his initial... he has, like, family here now, but he had initial charge, I believe, in Brazil, too, for some other shit. So, yeah. Just wanted to do a little quick update there. Go ahead and move along there. But, yeah, 2 prison breaks, dude. Crazy, crazy, crazy. From the BBC News, the Iraq YouTube star killed by her father. Iraq, yeah, I'm saying these things wrong. Sorry. But this is a story that popped up I wanted to talk about. She started her channel, and then, I'm sorry, young, vibrant, and bubbly YouTuber Tiba Al Ali became a hit with her fun-loving videos about her life. She started her channel after moving from her native Iraq to Turkey at the age of 17 in 2017, talking about her independence, her fiance, makeup, and other things. Tiba appeared happy and attracted tens of thousands of subscribers. This January, she went back to Iraq to visit her family and was murdered by her father. However, the killing was considered to have been premeditated, and her father was sentenced to only 6 months in prison. And this, like, there's a lot of deaths. There's a lot of things that happen. I try to be selective about it. I don't like to, like, be overwhelming or, like be too voyeuristic, maybe, if you will, where I'm just like, we're petering in on this intimate family. Like I said, I've covered those stories, and they don't always sit well with me. Obviously, they're very upsetting and they're sad. But to me, there was something that I did want to talk about, which was the very last aspect of it, the fact that you can have this kind of murder happen, and it's okay by the people. And this is where we're talking about a mix of, culture, religion, into your laws, and how it becomes okay to do something that's called an honor killing. Essentially, it is what is described as like a justified act. Like, I committed this crime because it was spiritually offensive, or it was something like an affair, which is a huge sin, something that was blasphemous. And this act I did because I was just so indignant, so upset about this. And generally, the law looks favorably in Iraq on these kind of things, where there's situations where, like, talking about the adultery thing, if you injure, maim, kill one or the two people in the act, it's like a crime of passion. But they're like, yeah, we won't give you more than 3 years for that. It's a stipulation in their law. So, this is sadly, it's not uncommon. It is one of those things that does happen in Iraq and also other countries. And, it is one of those things where here, yes, I do not like stepping on toes, especially when it comes to religion. I get it. But at the end of the day, like, you can have this religious fervor and you wanted to do right, and I can understand, like, you're upset with the choices your daughter has made, I guess. Like, all right, like, I'm playing devil's advocate with you. You're hurt and confused and upset dad. You should be talking about these things with your daughter. You should want to be working those things out, I would think. Not like, oh, I'm going to, and here's how he did it. He literally strangled her in her sleep. Like, it's just so sad. It's so tragic. Like, this is a person who had a whole life. She had a Syrian fiance, and she was like, "Hey, I gotta go home. I gotta handle this shit." And then now she's never gonna see him again. That shit is heartbreaking. It's sad as hell. I also just can't imagine being the person, like, look, I understand you love your God, you love your religion, and it's so important, and to see someone, like, stray away from it who's so close to you, it can hurt you. It can be so upsetting and frustrating, and you just want them to change. But essentially, the father here is saying, oh, she's too far gone, and now she's just a sinner, and, like, I have to deal with it. It is my burden to bear, and I'm going to willingly do that. And I just can't imagine. I can't fathom the steps you take to get there. Like, you know what I mean? Once again, I spent 18 years in my own religion, doing my own shit. Like, I had my red line, sure, but I could never picture myself being like, yeah, let's go on a fucking holy war. Let's, like, fucking, do a honor killing. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, that's crazy as hell to me. And it's crazy that there's at least enough support that kind of shit is, okay and supported in your legal system. It's baked in. It's just very sad. It's very unfortunate. Also, I should just say the father's name, Tayyip Ali. And yeah, there was January 31st when he did it, and he did turn himself in. But yeah, I mean, people, activist groups, people have been, coming out and talking about this, really using the situation as a platform and really say that, look, this is not an isolated issue. There's a lot of women who are living in fear of this kind of shit and have to deal with this kind of potential, backlash, retribution, literally like losing your life over essentially a religious disagreement. So, yeah, that's just something I wanted to spotlight, talk about. Yeah, God damn it, dude. I really, like I said, I do generally feel that the world, sadly, is a socially conservative place these days. I would love to see steps back from that ledge, if you will. That's something that I would like to see before I die. I mean, and whether or not it affects everything, everywhere, all at once, no. But I don't know. I'm kind of in the weeds here. But goddamn, dude. We have one more story. It's a lot lighter. You can say bubbly even. So I'm gonna take my break and then we'll talk about that shit. All right. From the BBC News. Florida man arrested after trying to cross Atlantic in hamster wheel vessel. Which, it's an amazing apparatus. Oh my gosh, what a regal vehicle. A Florida man was arrested after trying to run to London across the Atlantic Ocean in a homemade vessel resembling a hamster wheel. The U.S. Coast Guard intercepted Reza Baluchi about 70 miles off of Tybee Island, Georgia, on August 26th. Officials say the 44-year-old marathon runner refused to leave the vessel for 3 days. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. I believe he said that he threatened to kill himself, and he also said that there was a bomb on board. I guess that's the trend for this episode. It doesn't look like that was a fake, but he was so determined. Like, I believe that there's been like several times where he's tried this, right? Like 3 times. That's so, like, I shouldn't laugh. Like, at the end of the day, this man's pursuit is probably very noble, but like, that's too much. That's too much marathoning. You cannot walk on water. You cannot run on it. You are not one of the Jesus lizards. Like, the apparatus looks sound enough, I guess, but like I literally, like, for a second, I pictured this man out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, big ass wave coming, and it's just, what is this guy gonna do? Just run? Oh my god, like, it's so bad. It's so bad. That's why I had to put him in the thumbnail. He definitely gets the honors there for sure. But no, Mr. Baluchi, I'm sorry. Like, you can't make your voyage. Like, sadly, I think the Coast Guard made the right call by detaining you. I think just stay off. And he tries to, like, flip it. I think they have a quote at the end. According to previous interviews, Mr. Baluchi said he was attempting the voyages to raise money for a variety of causes, including for the homeless and the Coast Guard. So he's fighting for everyone. My goal is not only to raise money for homeless people, raise money for a Coast Guard, raise money for the police department, raise money for the fire department, he told WOFL TV in Orlando in 2021. They are in public service. They do it for safety, and they help other people. So essentially, he's not just running on water. He's campaigning for the downtrodden. He's campaigning for the protectors. So why do you want to stop this man? And it's because no one wants to be the one reporting on the one man in the hamster wheel who thought he could really run to London. from Florida. What a Florida man story. God damn it. Strikes again. So yeah, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for, just hanging out, for all my squeaky chair, all my all my coughs and burps, like just everything. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I hope you're having an amazing day. And I do have to shill though. Sorry about it. Got to pivot. Isaiah News 1 at gmail.com. Am I fusing? Patreon.com. So it's Isaiah News. Let's start there. If you'd like to support financially, you can become a newsie. $5 a month. You get that status. You help me out. And I shout you out once a month. I say your name on the podcast if you like. I plug a project if you like. Or if you just want to be a silent, anonymous donor, my lips are sealed. I won't say your name if you don't want it. All right? That's a deal. That's a bet. Free ways to hit me up. IsaiahNews1 at gmail.com. And then I'm on all the socials if you want to hit those up. Please, one thing I would like is if you could subscribe to me on YouTube. That means a lot. Thumbs up means a lot. Comments mean a lot. Oh, this burp. Can I fight it? Nope. Oh, there's a little bit. Oh boy, bad podcasting. I'm sorry. It means a lot if you do any of those things. Reviews mean a lot. But yeah, you mean a lot at the end of the day. So if you're sticking it out, hearing me here, if you're hanging out for your little smooch at the end, that means the world to me. Okay. I'm heart emojiing. Okay. So hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love you. Bye-bye. Mwah.